Throughout my relatively short life, I've encountered a lot of strange things. It started as things that just happened, and it soon grew into an obsession with the abnormal or supernatural. A few really stick out, and I would love to share them with you. The strange hair monster. When I was around 10 years old, I moved into a new apartment with my family. Something about this place unsettled me, and there were many instances where both my mother and I experienced some really absurd things. But what I'm about to tell you is one of my first encounters with something that I just couldn't explain. First, let me explain how my room was laid out. It was a relatively small room, wide enough for my twin-sized bed, which was pushed up against the wall, with about 2 feet of empty space between my bed and the wall where my closet was. This door was floor to ceiling, and it acted more like the cabinets you find in the kitchen, with no latch. They were slightly weighted so that they could close and stay closed. It was a late night, and I had snuck a book and a flashlight into my bed. Pretty normal stuff for me, since I was one of those kids that never wanted to put a book down before I finished it. I was halfway down the page when I heard the small thud of my closet door shutting. My heart skipped a beat. I had no pets, and I always shut my bedroom door before going to bed to give me a little bit more time to hide my flashlight and book when my parents would come to check on me. I listened intently for a few minutes, and when my heart rate went back down, I took a sigh of relief and went back to my book. It's late, I thought to myself. I must just be hearing things. A few pages later, I got that eerie feeling of being watched. I tried to shrug it off and kept my eyes on my book. At some point, though, I glanced up to see my closet door was cracked open slightly. I know that it had been shut. I shone the flashlight on it after I heard the thud. I was about to bring my flashlight back up to see what was making the door open when something came out. One long, dark tendril, then another and another. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I could only stare. The dark shadows twisted and coiled, always moving. But I wasn't watching them now. Something else was peeking out. 2 eyes. 2 bulging eyes were staring back at me out of the darkness around it. I couldn't see any more features. I could just see the darkness and those eyes. They were still in the closet while the shadows danced around outside of it. I wanted to scream, but nothing came out. I wanted to run, but I would have to pass the closet to make it out. I was debating jumping out of my window to escape it when I noticed my closet door opening further and those eyes never blinking, getting closer. I jumped up and flew to my door and felt something brush my arm. Hair. The darkness around it was its hair. I flung open my door so hard that it left a dent in my wall. Closing the door after me, I ran to my parents' room and woke them. It was just a dream, they said to me. Go back to sleep. I refused, and when my mother went to open my door, I was terrified that not only was it going to tie me up in its darkness, but it was going to get my mom too. But all she saw when she opened the door was my book and my flashlight on the floor. Closet door closed. I was so hysterical that they just let me stay up since it was Already 4 in the morning. I didn't sleep for days. I left my lights on and shoved anything I could under my bed and in front of my closet to make sure that nothing would come out. It might have just been a dream, but I wasn't taking any chances. Fast forward a few years. I'm now 13 years old and much more interested in horror and the supernatural. A friend of mine invites me to go see a movie with her, and I agree, seeing as I have nothing else to do. It's only a few minutes into the movie when I run out and sit in the lobby in shock, holding back tears. The movie we saw was The Grudge. And that thing was almost exactly what I saw in my closet all those years ago. I'm now 22, and even though this happened so long ago, I still shove heavy things in front of my closets when I go to sleep. I'm hoping I never see it again. Hey, it's Kat, and thanks for listening to my video if you made it this far. I have a whole bunch of really weird stories that have happened to me, and I'll be putting up more videos with those soon. So if you like this, be sure to give it a like, and if you want more, you could always subscribe, because I plan on putting out a lot more content. Until then, check your closets. I know I do.